the world of football is interesting because in football, Islam is even in France. There are many Muslim French footballers, and they are very fashionable. Everybody wears beard now in football, and everybody says salam alaikum, and so this fashion of Islam is also dangerous too, in my mind.
Fashion, culture, dress,
Yes,
lifestyle.
hairstyle also.
Yeah. So, don't you think it's the responsibility of people who call themselves liberal Muslims to fight these guys? I have a lot of friends here who keep saying they're liberal Muslims and all that, and they talk all kinds of good stuff. They're very democratic, very westernized, educated, scientific kind of people. And they also tell us they hate all these Islamic radicals. But why don't they go and organize a reformation? Like Europe had a reformation.
Right.
Now this reformation takes many generations, and it is bloody. It is not an easy thing. So it is the Christians who decided to rise against a certain kind of Christianity and create a reformation and domesticate them, tame them, clip their wings, put them in their place. So the Muslims need a reformation. And rather than the American bombing trying to do that, the real job is of Muslim liberals. In Pakistan, the Bhutto people, all these liberal type people, gave the same story that they will solve these problems and Americans should fund them with billions of dollars. They took these billions of dollars and they got more and more radicalized. So there is I think there's a kind of dishonesty among the liberal Muslims.
Yes. And the silent majority is always silent. In India, we see that every time there is a bomb, that Muslims join candlelight, but they never condemn the Quran because, as you said, the problem is in the Quran. I mean, unless the Quran is reformed, which was written in it was okay for this time, in those violent times of the, 8th century, 9th century, 10th century, Middle Ages, it was all right. But today, some of the things that Quran say that are applied by these extremist Muslims, they need to be taken out of the Quran, but nobody dares to do it.
That reminds me, when I first started Infinity Foundation, back in about 20 years ago, there was a grant request from Cornell University. They wanted to hold a world conference on religious peace, and in a few years, and we were going to give them this grant, and they were going to bring all the top religious leaders of various religions to condemn violence of all the bad guys. So I said, what about them themselves? Will they condemn their own books also? And she said, oh, why, no, they're all peace and all that. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'll tell you what, first grant will not be for the conference. First grant will be, you pick 2 graduate students from every major religion, and they will sit down for the summer and look at each other's books wherever there is violence against outsiders, kafirs, infidels, everybody. They will highlight all this. They'll make a list of all these verses that should be deactivated. So each religious leader will say, okay, these particular sections of my books I'm not going to teach. I'm not going to delete them and I'm not condemning them, but I won't teach them anymore. And this will be a resolution. So this lady thought this is a very innovative and brilliant idea.
It is, yeah.
So she went and talked to all these people. And then a month or two later, she came back and said that they're all so angry, particularly the Muslims, particularly the Christians. They don't want to tamper with the holy books. So you see, there is duplicity there.